It's never easy to have someone you care about disregard you. It is painful, perplexing, and may even cause you to doubt your own value. You may experience rejection, frustration, or hurt, particularly if you don't know why it's occurring. However, what if I told you that this challenging situation might possibly be advantageous to you? Yes, you can turn the circumstance around and take advantage of it rather than letting it break you. 8 strategies have been developed by relationship experts to assist you deal with being neglected in a way that gives you power instead of making you feel helpless. You may learn how to deal with the issue quietly and confidently and make sure you never feel rejected again if you carefully follow these 8 steps in order. Step number 1, consider if you are truly being ignored. The first thing you should do is take a moment to ask yourself a very basic question: am I certain that I am being ignored? This may seem pointless or even ridiculous, but it's a crucial first step. We may feel overlooked at times, but that isn't always the case. For example, you can be extrapolating your personal fears or anxieties onto the circumstance. Perhaps you have been reading too much into their behavior or misinterpreting it. Additionally, the other person can be overburdened, preoccupied, or dealing with a personal issue that is unrelated to you. Various people require various amounts of time and space to digest their feelings. It's not always the case that they are purposefully ignoring you just because you feel ignored. Thus, inhale deeply and think. Consider whether you might be overreacting. You shouldn't go to the next step until you are certain that the other person is, in fact, ignoring you. Step number 2, make room for them. The second stage is to give them the space they appear to require after you've verified that they are, in fact, ignoring you. This can be quite challenging, particularly if you have a strong bond with this individual and want to make things right immediately. Pushing them for attention, answers, or responses, however, is probably going to make matters worse. It's normal to want to keep contacting them by phone, text, or other means in the hopes that they would reply, but this approach frequently backfires. It might drive them farther away rather than closer. Respecting someone's needs and boundaries is demonstrated by giving them space. Additionally, it gives them time to think, contemplate, and perhaps even miss you. Sometimes all it takes for someone to understand how much they value you is a little distance. Stop contacting or texting them every day, for instance, if you're accustomed to doing so. Let them know you're not there. They will make the effort to get in touch if they genuinely care about you. Step number 3, avoid becoming clingy or needy. Making sure you don't come across as needy or clinging is important when you're giving them space. For example, if they do get in touch with you after observing your quiet, try not to respond right away. It's tempting to reply immediately, particularly if you've been anticipating their letter, but give yourself a break and think things through. You may come out as unduly desperate for their attention if you respond too rapidly. Rather, take your time answering. This shows that you are not totally reliant on them to make you happy or validate you. This appeals to the scarcity principle in psychology, which holds that people value things more when they are afraid of losing them. You can actually attract people closer to you by projecting a feeling of mystery and independence by not seeming overly available. Step number 4, stay occupied. Give the person space and turn your attention to yourself. It will simply sap your energy and make you feel worse to focus on the reasons they are ignoring you. Instead, make the most of this time by doing things that make you happy and fulfilled. Rekindle your interests, work on your objectives, or spend time with loved ones. Maintaining a busy schedule not only makes you feel more content and successful, but it also makes it obvious to the person who is neglecting you that you don't care about them. They can start to feel bad about taking you for granted when they see how happy and successful you are living without them. Put your personal well-being first, since a contented and joyful person is always more appealing. Step number 5, be receptive to new acquaintances. Avoid excluding yourself from new social possibilities while concentrating on bettering your personal life. Now is the ideal opportunity to make new friends, network, and perhaps look into other possible partnerships. Increasing your social network helps you become more confident and diverts your attention from the individual who is neglecting you. Furthermore, it may cause a sense of loss when the individual notices that you're meeting other people and going on without them. Once more, this appeals to the scarcity principle. When they see that you're not waiting for them, they might start to appreciate you more. Meeting new people can lead to exciting and rewarding interactions, even if they don't return. Step number 6, prepare for an open discussion. After giving them space, avoiding getting overly attached and concentrating on yourself, if the individual hasn't contacted you, it might be time to have an open discussion. Although this stage may seem daunting, it's frequently required to clear up confusion or find closure. Make sure you're poised and at ease when you approach them. Steer clear of rage or accusations, since these will only exacerbate the problem. Start by saying something like, "I've noticed some distance between us lately," without placing blame. Is everything in order? Pay close attention to what they have to say without interjecting. Say something like, "I'm here if you ever want to talk," if they refuse to engage or provide an inadequate response. The secret is to express your concern without putting any pressure on them. Sometimes the problem can be solved by simply allowing communication to occur. Otherwise, you will at least have clarity and be able to proceed. Step number 7, have the courage to go. Although it is frequently the most difficult phase, it is also one of the most crucial. You have to be prepared to leave if you've tried everything, including communicating, giving them space, and concentrating on yourself, and their conduct hasn't changed. Walking away means putting your mental health and self-respect first, but it doesn't mean removing them entirely from your life. Keep your distance from someone who consistently disregards or devalues you. This can be unfollowing them on social media, steering clear of pointless conversations, or just focusing your energies in a different direction. Never forget that you deserve to feel valued and appreciated in relationships. Sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself is to let go of someone who treats you poorly. Step number 8, create your own happiness. Never forget that it is your obligation to be happy, no matter what. It should never be dependent on the behavior or acceptance of others. Whether it's your hobbies, aspirations, or connections with people who truly care about you, concentrate on the things that make you happy. They lose out on getting to know and spend time with an incredible person when they choose to ignore you. You will never feel invisible or unwelcome around the proper people. In addition to making you feel better, fostering your personal happiness will draw in the kinds of connections that genuinely improve your life. These actions aren't meant to be used to control or tease someone who is ignoring you. It's about establishing boundaries, managing your own emotions, and cultivating more wholesome connections. Everyone acts the way they do for a variety of reasons, so it's crucial to avoid taking things personally. People may require space or are dealing with personal difficulties. The secret is to pay attention to oneself, act appropriately, and be conscious of what is happening. Ultimately, you are worthy of being surrounded by individuals who cherish and respect you. When you're with the correct person, they will always try to make time for you. It's acceptable to let go and move on if someone isn't acting in that way. What do you typically do when someone ignores you? Let us know in the comments. Your experiences would be greatly appreciated. Additionally, for more uplifting content, remember to subscribe to Psycho Wisdom. Watch the suggested videos that are currently displayed on the screen. I appreciate you viewing.